And now your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 494th edition of TSR Live. It is Tuesday, July 30th, 2019. As always, we are streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, so however you are watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Let's get right to it. A special thanks goes out to Michael J., who submitted the video for today's show, and this is a good one. So Michael J. submitted a video of 4 black women sitting down to discuss the challenges for black women in the sexual marketplace as far as dating goes. So you've got the host, Shan Boodram, and I think this is her podcast. I don't know what the name of the podcast is. I don't care. But her name is Shan Boodram, who is a self-proclaimed sexologist, which is just a fancy way of saying she's had a lot of sex, so now she calls herself an expert. She wrote a book called The Game of Desire. Looks like you can pre-order the book. Also on the panel is a woman by the name of Keandra Jackson, who, for reasons known only to the creator himself, is a licensed marriage and family therapist. You've got the resident sex pot, Courtney, who describes herself as, get this, she describes herself as hypnotically free-spirited with an intoxicating charm. All that means is that she sleeps around. That's it. It also says here that she is a masseuse. I guess you can do with that what you will. Look, let's not jump to conclusions, okay? Courtney may very well be the kind of masseuse that only massages backs and fingers. I don't know. I'm not going to rush to judgment. The panel is rounded out, and as you will see shortly, pun is definitely intended, by a woman named Deshawn, who is an environmentalist who is apparently working on solving the water crisis in California. Not sure exactly how she's going to do that, but hey, listen, man, you got to occupy yourself with something, whatever. Do you, baby girl? Anyway, they sat down. I'm going to bring the video up here. They sat down and they discussed some of the frustrations they have in the dating world as a black woman. And as you can probably imagine, there was just way too much meat on the bone not to talk about this. Now, I'm only going to cover 10 minutes of the video. It was about a half an hour long podcast, but I found that if I listen to a group of black women talk for more than 15 minutes, my ears start to bleed and my vision starts to go out. So I cut it off at 10 minutes just to make sure. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started here. Let me make the sound switch, and away we go.
So today's episode, we are going to talk about black women being undesired in the dating world. And this is not an opinion. This is based on facts and
okay, wait, hold on.
That were done, for example. Okay,
so black women being undesired in the dating world. She said it out loud. Finally, a black woman who acknowledges the truth. She says this isn't an opinion, this is a fact. And then she backed it up. Then she is going to back it up with the only way to truly accurately measure attraction, and that is online dating sites. Take a listen.
OkCupid did a review of who were the least swiped upon amongst the different genders, and data show that most men on the site rated black women as less attractive than women of other races and ethnicities.
There you have it, guys. Listen, man, there are all sorts of BS surveys and studies and statistics out there that try to slant the truth about black women being at the bottom of the sexual totem pole. And these are all done in an attempt to marginalize black men who verbalize this ironclad, immutable truth about black women and make us look and feel like there's something wrong with us. Like that we're lying to ourselves. They say things like, you don't like black women because you say you don't like black women because you secretly want them, you secretly desire them. I had some crazy woman call me up on O'Shea's show like a year ago, says, I think you're obsessed with black women. You get this stuff. They say these men are coons, they're race traders, they're sellouts because they're pushing a false narrative, right? We hear him say things like, these men are severely damaged individuals who have a warped view of black women because of their own experiences. They say these men are mentally unstable for talking bad about their own women. But what is never acknowledged is that studies and statistics can be manipulated to say whatever you want, especially when it comes to attraction. But the one and only true way to find out what men and women really think about each other romantically is to take a look at dating apps. Dating apps, gentlemen, are where people are unable to lie about what they want. Their preferences are evident in the women they swipe for, and vice versa. The preferences in men are evident in the men they swipe right for. Men aren't going to swipe right for men they're not attracted to, and it's as simple as that. Dating application data is the one true way to find out what men really want in women. It's the one true way to find out which women men want the most and which women men want the least. Guys, I've been saying that black women are almost nobody's type and are at the bottom of the sexual totem pole for years. And I catch heat from the black community all the time, telling me I'm wrong, telling me I'm inaccurate, or that I'm psychologically damaged because I'm not attracted to my own race of woman. But this woman, Shan Boudram, just sat here and told you guys what I've been saying for years. And she's got the data to back it up. Listen, if you want to find out what percentage of people watch porn, you don't ask them. You look at their internet history. If you want to find out what race of women or of woman is the least preferred, you don't ask men. You look at their dating application data, and that's what's happening here. Shan Boudram, good for her. She is acknowledging hard and fast truths, and that is the first step in improving yourself in any capacity. Unfortunately, this is the last time you're going to hear anything reasonable from these women about their own sexual market value. Let's continue.
Of course, on the flip side of the coin, it's Asian men who were rated less attractive than other races and ethnicities in the male category. In addition, according to the 2018 Motherly State of Motherhood survey, Black mothers are 4 times more likely to be single and serve as the primary breadwinners of their home.
Now, the woman sitting to Shan Boudram's right is that's Miss Jackson. She's the licensed marriage and family therapist. You can see that she is visibly bothered by this. Just watch her. I'm going to rewind this just a little bit. I want you to watch her body language. Watch how many times she blinks in incredulousness to these statistics. Just listen. Just watch. This is hilarious.
The different genders, and data show that most men on the site rated Black women as less attractive than women of other races and ethnicities. Of course, on the flip side of the coin, it's Asian men who were rated less attractive than other races and ethnicities in the male category. In addition, according to the 2018 Motherly State of Motherhood survey, Black mothers are 4 times more likely to be single and serve as the primary breadwinners of their home.
She can't stop blinking.
So in short, what is it like to date as a Black woman?
Here we go.
Interesting.
That's Courtney.
Fun. And difficult.
It's interesting dating as a Black woman, but make no mistake, it is not fun, gentlemen. But she told the truth right at the end when she said difficult. Again, it's good that they seem to be keeping it 100, at least for now. She tried to make it sound like everything was hunky-dory with the interesting and fun descriptions, but then she came true in the end.
It's actually really difficult.
Oh, there we go. It's actually really difficult. She kept it 100. Of course it's difficult for Black women to date in today's sexual marketplace because Black women are at the bottom of the sexual totem pole. It's as simple as that.
I recently swiped on someone and he was like, "Oh, you look a lot like my ex-girlfriend." And I was like, "Okay." And I'm looking at his picture. I'm like, "Okay, you're white." He's like, "Are you down with the swirl?" It's like, honestly, if I swiped.
Listen, to be honest with you, that's some funny shit for a white dude to ask a Black woman. Are you down with the swirl? Are you down with the swirl? And she's going to say, obviously, if I swiped, I guess I am. I just thought that was funny.
Right, yes, this is an indication.
That's an indication. Mm-hmm. The next question I got was, do you wear a weave? And I'm like, is this happening still?
Yes, Courtney, it is happening still. Get this through your thick skulls, sisters. Men don't like women who wear fake hair. I'm going to say it again. Sisters, listen up. Men don't like women who wear fake hair. Even white girls with these ridiculous extensions, we don't like that stuff. How can you pull a woman's hair during sex if she has extensions? Oh, don't pull my extensions. Or even worse, you actually pull it out.
Right now, where Beyonce's wearing weaves, where all your celebrities are wearing weaves.
Here we go already. Black women comparing themselves and conflating themselves with Beyonce and celebrities. Courtney, sweetheart, you're a mildly attractive woman, but newsflash, you ain't Beyonce. That's why Beyonce can get away with wearing a weave and you can't, because she's Beyonce and you ain't. You can't do what celebrities do and expect to get celebrity treatment. I will never understand why black women simply cannot figure out why they need to quit taking their cues from Beyonce and other black female celebrities. I will never understand that. I did an episode a couple weeks back about a black man and a black woman talking, celebrity couple or black couples are as strong as ever. Look at the Obamas. Look at Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. Those are celebrities. Those are abnormal relationships. Jay-Z and Beyonce have a combined net worth of $1.5 billion. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett are movie stars. I don't know what their net worth together is, but it's substantial. The Obamas are the Obamas. Quit comparing yourselves to celebrities.
All ethnicities.
Wait, I'm sorry. All ethnicities? So now, see again, now she's putting herself into the class of a white girl. Well, black women, we wear weaves and fake hair, but now because she has figured out that white girls also wear extensions, she's going to bring them in all ethnicities, right? As if somehow, well, we wear weaves and they wear extensions, so we're the same. No, sweetie. Black women and white women are not the same. They're not. No matter how much you want to think that, you guys are not the same.
Changing.
And first of all, most of us have moved on to wigs.
That's what I said. And you know, I'm like,
see all that laughing? Yeah, it's all fun and games, but then they wonder why dating is so difficult. They want to die on the I'll wear my hair however I want to, fake or not, hill. But then they want to know why high quality men don't want them anymore.
Weaves, not so much, but braids, crochets, and wigs. Like that. But I just find it so interesting that that's still like a question that's stereotypically put on us. Like, is that your hair?
Stereotypically put on us. Is that your hair? Because most black women wear fake hair. Why is Courtney acting like this isn't a legit question? Guys, I say this all the time. Stereotypes exist for a reason. Most black women wear fake hair, whether it's a weave, a wig, or whatever. Dude, my own mother wears fake hair. So when a man swipes right on a black woman, he wants to know if you fit the stereotype that is correctly perpetuated onto black women. That's a legit question, Courtney. Quit disingenuously acting like it's not.
Like, why is that a thing? And I'm like, there's so many ways you have to try to answer that or disarm it or like reroute that question to like get the ball back in your court and be like, okay, this is where we're going with the conversation. We're not going here.
So do you feel like even though there's a yes that happened because you guys both swiped right and so there's the yes that happens, they're still treating you like a maybe?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because the other comment that I got when I actually did go on a date, which turned out to be all right, was, you're actually more kinder than I thought you would be.
Yes. Again, the stereotype of the angry black woman exists for a reason.
You're actually more intelligent than I thought, even though you didn't go to college. And I was like, wait, huh? Is that a compliment or is that a backhanded compliment? And that's like what like is happening during a first impression is you're having to almost check yourself too. And saying, did this person really just say this to me? And then still try to get to know this person and see if they are possible.
See, this is another problem with black women. And you'll see this a couple of times in this little podcast snippet. They take offense to having to disarm and disprove stereotypes about them that aren't personally true about them specifically. Sweetheart, this is your reality, Courtney. You don't have to like it, but until black women start wearing their hair naturally and stop with the attitude problems, you're going to have to show that you don't fall into those stereotypical categories. I'll tell you a couple of quick stories about this. Devin and I went to Atlantic City last week. Stayed at this unbelievable 5-star resort, 45th floor, crazy large room, beautiful view, luxurious room, the whole nine. Well, there are security guards in the lobby who are there to prevent outsiders who are not staying at the resort from getting onto the elevators. This is normal at any casino resort. It's the same in Vegas. It's the same as Reno. This is just the way it is. So you walk by the security guard, you flash him your room key, he gives you the quick sharp nod to give you permission to go up to your room, and you both go about your business. Now, the security guards don't require every single person to show them their room key every single time. Maybe he has seen a certain person or people there before and verified them before. Maybe he knows that they're repeat guests. Maybe the people have luggage with them, and that's good enough to verify that they're staying there. The point is that he has a different reason to either check or not check if you have a room key. This is at his discretion. Well, the second or third time Devin and I went up to a room, I was stopped by a security guard. He said, "Sir, room key, please." Now, I could have gotten all bent out of shape and said, "You're profiling me. I've been up to my room twice already. You want to ask me for a key because I'm a black man? You let that white couple go by, but why did you stop me?" But you want to know why I didn't? Because I knew why he stopped me. And the reason he stopped me is because I'm 6'1", 235. I'm a 6'1", 235-pound black man with tattoos. That's why. Let's keep it 100, guys. That's the reason he stopped me. But rather than making a big deal out of verifying that, yes, I am a paying customer at this establishment, and no, I am not the stereotypical black man who tries to sneak into casino hotels to sell customers illicit drugs, I simply showed him my room key and went about my business. Now, do I like the fact that I get profiled? Of course not. No, dude, no black man likes getting profiled. But that's the hand I've been dealt. And other black men are responsible for those negative stereotypes. Just because I'm not the stereotypical black man doesn't mean that I don't have to prove it every day of my life. This is my reality. And sitting around crying about what I can't change in a day isn't going to solve anything. I was also stopped on my way out of BJ's. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was also stopped out of my on my way out of BJ's. It's a grocery store. You buy everything in bulk. 5 gallons of mayonnaise and whatever. 5 gallons of peanut butter. But he stopped me because I was wearing a backpack. I politely let them check my backpack and I kept it moving. Now there was an older white lady who was behind me that said, "I've never seen them check anybody's backpack before." I just said to her, "Yep, that's how it is." No, gentlemen. I am not okay with that. Don't get it twisted. I am not okay with having my bag checked when clearly they let other people walk by with backpacks. But making a scene and escalating a situation only further perpetuates the negative stereotypes about black men. And guess what? That doesn't help anyone, least of all myself. So I politely comply and I show them that I am not who or what I look like, and I am always treated well and with great respect after that. And in the back of my mind, I think to myself, you know what? Maybe the next time someone comes through here who looks like me, the security guard will think back on his experience with me and maybe let him slide without needing to see his room key or check his backpack. And that's how I do my part. Causing a scene or getting all upset about something like that doesn't make you a hero. It makes you an idiot, and it proves to everyone, and it proves to everyone around you that you are what they thought you were. What they thought about you was true. If black women want to wear weaves and wigs, fine. Do what you want to do. It's a free country. You do whatever you do whatever you want. But don't then turn around and bitch and moan that dudes reject you because of it. Black women don't understand that you cannot negotiate attraction. You cannot negotiate desire. Just because you think we should like fake hair doesn't mean we will. Men don't like fake hair. It is not attractive. If you choose to continue to wear fake hair, that's your choice. Just like it's our choice to pass you over for women with real hair. Do not blame men for not being turned on by something you refuse to change. That's not our problem. That's your choice. Let's continue.
I will say for me, it's more on the difficult side because I feel like I do get a lot of matches, but then it's just like it never like propels to the next step, and it's just difficult to get those dates in general. And so that's like definitely been my area of struggle here, at least in the Los Angeles area. I will say that like when I was living in Georgia for school, it was a lot easier just because it's more Black people populated in one city. But yeah, it's just getting to that date to even try and see if you have built a connection.
Sweetheart, let's call a spade here. Deshaun, you can't build a connection with a man in demand if you're overweight. That's the bottom line here, hun. Listen, I'm sure she's a very nice girl. She actually seems to be very docile and actually quite feminine. But being overweight, that trumps everything. This woman is overweight. And while she had success in Georgia, where there are more overweight women and more Black women, it should not surprise her that dudes aren't checking for her in a state where the men are more selective because there are much better options available to them. Women in California, regardless of race, are far more attractive than the girls in Georgia. This is why the Beach Boys wrote that song, I Wish They All Could Be California Girls, for a reason. I've spent time in both states, and I can say that definitively. The problem isn't the area, sweetheart. The problem is you. Guys, if you want laser focus and a good, clean, controlled energy to get a lot done in a very short period of time, you need Gorilla Mind Rush. I tried it 2 weeks ago and I've used it every day since. Just 3 tablets in the morning with a cup of black coffee, and my mind and body work at peak operating efficiency. Now, 15 minutes after you take it, you start to notice a subtle change in your mindset. 15 minutes after that, you'll notice you're a little more focused, you're thinking more clearly, and you're a little more energetic. Plus, your motivation to be productive goes up. An hour in, you'll feel noticeably more focused and can concentrate even with distractions around. Not only that, you'll feel less stressed and less anxious. After 90 minutes, you are in full Gorilla Mind Rush mode. Your focus, your concentration, and your memory will be far beyond your normal state, and you will stay this way for at least 6 hours. And get this, there is zero crash. That's right, guys. You get all the benefits of your mind being hyper-focused for a long period of time without the cliff when it wears off. As of today, you have 4 more days to get it at a discount through my affiliate link. Go to donovansharpe.com/Gorilla Mind Rush. Again, that's donovansharpe.com/Gorilla Mind Rush. I'm putting a link in the chat right now. Use promo code Donovan Gorilla, no spaces. Again, Donovan Gorilla, no spaces, DONOVANGORILLA, to get 20% off. You have 4 more days to get Gorilla Mind Rush at 20% off through my affiliate link. Again, that's donovansharpe.com/Gorilla Mind Rush. All right, let's continue.
See if you, want to pursue a relationship, because I can't get a first date, let alone a second one, and that is extremely frustrating.
Yeah. I think, first of all, that statistics make me really sad. Mm-hmm. And I almost took it personal. I'm like, excuse me?
How could you not? You should.
Absolutely. But
Listen, I understand. I I just call her Miss Jackson. I keep forgetting what her name is. But listen, man, when you see statistics that aren't in your favor, yeah, you get you take it personally. When I see statistics out there that say black men are less intelligent than other races, that we have a lower IQ, yeah, that I'm feeling some type of way about that, because that talks about me personally. Does that mean that I have a lower IQ than? No, I'm not even going to start getting into that. I don't want the chat to start blowing up about that. But yeah, that is a basic human response. When a statistic, or when you see data, or you see something that goes against you personally, even though it's talking about the general public in terms of you and your race and community, yeah, you're going to take offense. I don't blame her for that.
I take into consideration what the narrative everyone else has and use that to my advantage. So be it if you think that we're less desirable, I want you to think that. Or if it's like, oh no, you are desirable, I want you to think that. I want to have the upper hand because I'm going to counter and like obliterate what you think.
Bingo! Now that's the attitude you should have, ladies. Courtney is doing it the right way. Rather than bitching and moaning about stereotypes, she's saying, you know what? I know what you think about me, but let me prove to you why you're wrong about me. This is exactly the attitude I have when I get stopped in hotel lobbies or get my backpack checked at BJ's. As far as this is concerned, Courtney is doing it right.
That's my whole mission. It's like, even if it's saying, oh, you're not desired, oh, I can play into that. No. I want you to think I'm less than you.
Oh, God. And she went right back to being a typical black woman. When a man rejects you for whatever reason, he's not saying you're less than him. That's not even what's at play here. Being less than or greater than anybody has nothing to do with white guys and black. No, nothing. This is simply about sexual attraction. So when black women get rejected, they take it to mean, oh, he thinks I'm less than him. And that is so far from anybody's mind, it's ridiculous. This woman, like most black women, is trying to find something to be angry about. Oh, he thinks I'm less than him. Let me get pissed. Michael Jordan famously had to take drastic measures to motivate himself. And the reason why was because everyone said he was the greatest ever. He had the rings, he had the Wheaties boxes, he had the shoes. Nobody ever said anything bad about him. So what he used to do to get himself hyped up and psyched up, he'd get a newspaper and try to find something to get upset about. Oh, player XYZ said I chew my gum too loud? All right. Goes out and scores 45. What? This dude says I shouldn't stick out my tongue when I have the ball? Oh, hell no. He goes out and scores 56. That mentality works for professional athletes, not for black women.
Because I'm going to show you better than I can tell you.
But I want to know. Like, maybe I just love stats and just information like that, but I need to know, like, what's going on out here in these streets. You know, but partially for the same reason that you do, because it's like, I'm about to freaking obliterate your whole life.
I feel like
it just go beyond, you know?
As a black woman, I just feel like I'm constantly underestimated.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again, and it has definitely worked to my advantage in that method. Whether that's in school, whether that's with men, whether that's with conversation.
Hey, listen, good for you. Listen, if you are underestimated educationally, good for you. If you want to prove to men that you are not the stereotypical angry, overweight black woman with an attitude problem, hey, more power to you.
Constantly underestimated. So yeah.
Do you experience direct racism in the dating world? I know, Courtney, you've had experiences before that I could quote for you, but I'll let you talk for yourself. But have you experienced that from people before, wherein that it's not even implied that perhaps it's because I'm a black woman, I'm experiencing this, or I'm not getting the response I want? They've literally said something to make that clear.
I dated someone that I was going natural, wearing my hair in a natural state, and I was getting ready, but we're getting ready to go do something harmless like the movies, where it's dark. Doesn't matter what my hair looks like.
Oh, God. What? So you're going to be in a dark movie theater all night then, huh? Because it's going to be dark for an hour and a half, it doesn't matter what your hair looks like. Is that it? This is the problem. It does matter. And guess what, ladies? You don't get to make that choice. Just because you say it doesn't matter doesn't mean it doesn't matter. Just like men can say, well, it doesn't matter if I'm a fat ass. Women should love me for me. No, it matters. Just because you say it doesn't matter doesn't mean it doesn't matter. Courtney is using the fact that her and her date are going to be in a dark movie theater as an excuse not to look her best. And she's doing it with a smug, look at her. She's doing it with a smug, condescending attitude, as if to say, these men out here are tripping if they think it matters what my hair looks like when you can't see me for an hour and a half. Guys, how stupid is this?
For a movie, and he literally said, well, can you put your white girl hair on? Referring to a weave or a wig. And I was like, no, this is what I like. And like,
no, this is what I like. Now, listen, if a man tells a black woman to put on white girl hair, listen, you can't expect her to be like, okay, I'll go put on my white. Listen, that's just not gonna happen. But let's go back to what she said. This is what I like. Again, Courtney, it don't matter what you like, sweetie. It matters what he likes. And listen, you can get all outraged over the fact that he told you to go put on your white girl hair. And listen, to her credit, I understand why she would say that. But going back to what she's saying, no, this is what I like. It matters what he likes. This is the difference. Listen carefully. And sisters, if you're watching, this is the difference between white girls and black women. You see, gentlemen, white girls see it as a responsibility and a duty to look good for the men that they date. White girls take tremendous pride in looking the way her man wants her to look. Black women, they see it as a hindrance and a nuisance. Devin shot me a text the other day. This was last Saturday. She was getting her nails done before we went to Atlantic City. She sat right there between two black women. And when the nail tech asked her, okay, what kind of style do you want? She says, French manicure. What the man wants, the man gets. And the woman to her left said, oh, please, no. You guys can look at that on social media. I actually put it up on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Oh, please, no. What the man wants, the man gets. What, bitch, what are you talking about? But then they want to ask, why are all the white girls taking all our men? Funny how that works, right?
Hear someone that I was kind of dating and in a relationship with say these things, that you're trying to force a standard upon me and not accept it.
Yes, Courtney. I don't know if you've realized this, but attractive men have standards. We say all the time to each other, men and women, gotta have standards. Women say all the time, I have standards. Your man told you what you could do to make yourself look more attractive, and you took offense to it. And this is why he is no longer with you. When I take Devin out to dinner, I make her curl her hair. I make her wear these big, beautiful earrings. Sometimes they're hoops, maybe they're danglies. I make her wear a skirt and heels. She doesn't say, OMG, you're trying to force a standard on me. No. She complies because she wants me to be attracted to her and doesn't take offense to taking direction from a man about the way she looks. Something black women seem to be allergic to.
For who I am was very self-deprecating. It made me think twice about what my worth was because my hair was in a certain way, or I was loud as a black woman, and I'm like, this is who I am. And
yes, Courtney, this is who you are, and that's perfectly fine. But here's what you don't understand. We don't have to like who you are. Look, man, nobody's telling this chick she has to do anything. She can stay just the way she is. But Courtney needs to understand that men don't have to like who she is. This is the difference between men and women. You know, race, take race out of this. This is the difference between men and women. An overweight black female with a bad wig who's loud, she can say, well, if you don't accept me for who I am, then you're the one with the problem. Then turn around and say, well, he ain't tall enough for me. He's too fat for me. So let me get this straight. You can have standards, but we can't. When you say you need a man who's taller and better looking, that's having a standard. But when we say we don't want loud women with weaves and an attitude, we're race traitors who are mentally damaged. We have standards and there's something wrong with us. You see how silly that sounds?
It sucks because it's like you're not only being rejected by the outside people, but when you do date people who get closer, they do slide those little notions in there and those comments of like, are you sure you like this about yourself? Like, oh, I wish you were lighter skinned, or I wish you had. Have you had?
Now, listen. Now, the lighter skin thing, guys, I don't understand that. Like, the black community talks about colorism. I've never, like, listen, I've seen there are many black women I find very attractive. To me, I don't know. It doesn't really matter what their skin tone is, right? I mean, if I'm keeping it all the way real, she's got a gripe here about this, you know, I wish you were lighter skinned. I mean, just like I said earlier, Courtney, her complexion is flawless. I just don't understand the whole light skin. Listen, if I'm being honest, man, I mean, Courtney's actually, you know, mildly attractive. If I'm being honest, real talk. She's not really a bad looking girl, and her skin tone doesn't really matter to me. So I don't know. I'll never understand that. Maybe I'll never know. Who knows?
Literally say that to you before?
Like that I was lighter toned? Yes.
Yeah. Like verbatim somebody
Verbatim.
has
I wish
said.
it's like, wow, you probably look a little bit better lighter toned. I probably would.
What's
like,
nuts is because your complexion is my... It's me the most striking feature. It's
Now, see, this is her. She actually looks a little bit lighter in this picture. She doesn't really look as attractive. I don't know. I'm not trying to pander to anybody here, but to me, I don't know. Like, there are many black women who are light-skinned I find attractive. There are many black women with dark skin I find attractive. I don't know. I've never understood it. I don't know.
like...
Thank you.
Utterly amazing.
Thank you.
Deshaun, have you ever experienced overt racism before in dating?
I will say not particularly over or not anything similar to what Courtney has experienced. I think my thing is more so calling out some sort of perceived proximity to whiteness, because a lot of people look at me and this even happened to me yesterday. I was at a bar and a guy was like, "So what are you mixed with?" I was like, "We've been..."
Oh, Jesus Christ. Listen, what are you mixed with? Guys, I get that all the time, man. Some of you out there probably even assume I'm mixed. Newsflash. Both my parents are black. If somebody asks me, hey, what are you mixed with? It doesn't bother me. I just tell them that both my parents are black and keep it moving. This again, guys, this is another example of black women looking for a reason to get agitated. So what if he thinks you're mixed? Tell him that you're not mixed and keep it moving.
Communicating this whole time. I was like, I'm not mixed with anything. Mom's black, dad's black. That's it. Like, that's all I've got for you. It's like Mississippi and West Virginia in American history. Like, that's it. But it's not the first time that...
You know, this girl, Deshaun, like, if you look at her mannerisms, like, I love the way she talks. You know, like she happens to be very feminine. She can't really cross her legs because she's overweight, but she's very feminine. She speaks well. She's not overbearing. She's not aggressive. If Deshaun was not overweight, she would be quite attractive. Her whole persona, her whole aura, everything about her, except for the fact that she is overweight, screams femininity. Unfortunately, to be feminine, you gotta lose the weight, hon.
I've heard that or anything, and I'm just like, so is that what attracts you to me? Is that like perceived?
Who cares if that's what attracts him to you? Like, for real? Like, if I'm dating some girl, if Devin were to tell me, Donovan, the only reason I really started talking to you is because I thought you were mixed, what am I going to do? Oh my God, our relationship is based on a lie. I can't believe it. No. I'll simply tell her, no, Devin, you were wrong. Both of my parents are black, and I will continue to go about my day and not even think about it. Like, for real? It's not that serious, Deshaun. It's just not.
That perceived proximity, or are you just really into me as the successful black woman that I am?
Uh-oh. Into me for the successful black woman that I am. You see, Deshaun, you specifically said that it is very difficult for you to make a connection. But you're a successful black woman. You see, when women try to come across and try to prove to you that they are successful and educated, this is the equivalent of a man leading with his wallet. Okay? Discovery trumps disclosure. But here's the difference. We don't care if you're, quote, successful or not. We don't care. When a man sees Deshaun, he says, she's overweight, not interested. Oh, but wait a minute, Mike. Deshaun is successful. She makes $250,000 a year. She's a twice published author. Now, I don't know if these things are true about Deshaun. I'm just giving an example. But she is highly successful. She is a conservationist. She is a highly successful environmentalist. I'm going to say, bruh, like, I'm still not interested. Ladies, it doesn't matter how successful you are or are not. We don't care about your accomplishments. We're not aroused by your 4-year fraudulent college degree. We're not aroused by your success. We don't care how much money you have. If a man really cares that much about how much money you make, then you're with the wrong man. Listen, Pookie and Ray Ray, they care very much about what their women are making because Pookie and Ray Ray don't have a job. Pookie and Ray Ray ain't got a job. That's why they only try to hit up chicks who actually make money. Man, my girl's got to make $100,000 a year. Why? Because you make you make $100 a month. Listen. Any man that puts too much of an emphasis on how much a woman makes, you need to look yourself in the mirror, bruh. Because at that point, maybe you don't have yourself together. Well, I just want to make sure she doesn't take advantage of me. So make sure she doesn't. Well, I want to make sure she doesn't take advantage of my money. Well, then listen, it doesn't matter whether a woman makes money or not. All women are going to try to take advantage of you financially. I don't care if she makes $250,000 a year or if she makes 10 and a quarter an hour at Burger King or McDonald's. It doesn't matter. If you want to make sure a woman is not going to take advantage of you financially, you implement game. You make her earn your rewards. You don't just give her your attention and commitment for free. You make her work for that. You make her proactively earn your trust. Just because a woman has money doesn't mean she's not going to suck you dry financially. Don't get it twisted.
I think what we tend to do is to maybe not even overcompensate, but we try to explain ourselves and why we do want to wear our hair natural and we're not mixed. And we go through that whole process as a Black woman, and then we may come off as aggressive.
Well, Ms. Jackson, maybe when you are explaining something to someone or correcting the record, you might want to consider using a softer tone. Baby girl, are you mixed? What? Hell no, I ain't mixed. Both my parents are Black. What's wrong with you? But then you're surprised when people call you an angry Black woman.
Or, all those negative stereotypes that people label us as. And then it's like, that wasn't even our intention. We just want to live in our authentic self. And why isn't that enough?
Why isn't that enough? We want to live in our authentic selves. Why isn't that enough? Well, here's the thing, Miss Jackson. You can be authentic. But whether or not it's enough isn't up to you. You see, Black women celebrate the things that make them difficult. They celebrate this stuff. They give each other high fives and make hashtags about it. Nobody wants loud, brash, overweight women who may or may not be wearing fake hair, sweetie. That's not authenticity. That's being a fucking headache. If that's what you want to characterize as being authentic, cool. Do you. I'm not mad at you. But the answer to your question, why is that not enough, is because it's not what men want. If you want to be you, be you. I'm not stopping you, sweetie. I'm not mad at you. But don't then turn around and be mad at us for not wanting you. You don't get to determine your own sexual market value. That's the problem. These women are we're all these attractive women. We're all the men. No, sweetie. No. You don't get to call yourself attractive. You don't get to determine your own sexual market value. The sexual market does.
Absolutely.
And so for you, never having had someone said that, how do you know that it impacts your relationships?
That's a good question. I think for me, it wouldn't necessarily be. I think that this is what's stopping me in my tracks, because I literally just had a conversation with two successful Black men, and one of them literally told me that they only prefer to date white women, and this was at a bar.
Oh my God.
With other Black women that I met, and we were all having a conversation, and it really struck me.
Wait, real quick. It's funny. She's like, we were at a bar, and there were other Black women. She was so shocked that a Black man had the gall to say in front of all these Black women have this discussion, I prefer to date white girls. The reason she's surprised about that is because most Black men, they are afraid to tell Black women what they really think about them, Black women. Most Black men just pander to Black women. Oh man, I got to have me a girl with melanin in her skin. Well, guess what? Black women are not the only females on the planet with melanin. What about Indian girls? What about Asian girls? What about Latina? Right? Black women, it's so funny how Black women use the word melanin. It sounds fancy. It sounds royal. Well, she ain't got melanin. No, sweetie. Okay. No. She's Mexican. She has melanin. Just listen. Black people aren't. Listen, newsflash, Black community. We're not the only people with melanin in our skin. Melanin is not fucking vibranium. For all you Black Panther Wakanda wannabe fans out there. Melanin is not the... Dude, the black community treats melanin as though it is the one trait that makes us superior to all... No, get out of here with that. Melanin is simply color in the skin. We're not the only ones with it. Hawaiians, Pacific Islanders, people in South America, Latinas, other Africans, people in Europe have melanin in their skin. Get out of here with that.
Because of the reasoning, it was very stupid.
Oh, so he told them why he dates white girls, and he said, and his reasoning was stupid? I want you to keep in mind, let me just remind you that this is a licensed marriage family therapist. Look at your screen, guys. Keandra Jackson, licensed marriage and family therapist, and she just said the word stupid. She just said some dude's reasoning is stupid. Miss Jackson is Keandra is supposed to be a professional. Yet when the object of her desire tells her that he prefers women who do what she doesn't, she calls his reasoning stupid. And oh, by the way, she never said, oh, I like to give oral sex, which means she doesn't give oral sex. So when a man tells you, Keandra, he likes women who give oral sex, okay? When women like you clearly do not, calling his rationale stupid is it's not only short-sighted, but it points out the immutable truth that no matter how qualified they think they are, no matter how many certificates they have that say they're relationship experts, women, and especially black women, simply cannot help, nor can they control their own emotions and bias when it comes to the relationships of other people. I feel sorry for Miss Jackson's clients. Let's continue.
Can wake up with oral sex from them and you guys don't do that. And I'm like, that's your reasoning?
You see, baby girl, you don't get to decide what our reasoning is for not dating y'all. Right? Like, listen, you can say it's stupid all you want to, but the fact is that you know you don't measure up, and that's why you're characterizing this as stupid. Again, this is that double standard here. If a man has preferences, he's stupid. But if a woman has preferences, she's selective. She has standards. Just because you don't like our preferences and standards doesn't mean we're going to abandon what we like just to keep you from calling us stupid. We don't give a damn what you guys think, and that's the second part of your disdain. You know you don't measure up, nor are you willing to try, and you know we don't care. So you call us stupid. Cool. We'll be stupid. We'll be stupid with thinner, more feminine women who like to give head.
Did you speak to the black woman president who gave you a list of the do's and do nots and was like, look, if you want to enter the club, where did he collect this? Where's this coming from?
I have no clue, but I was like, okay, that's your narrative. That's very interesting.
That's your narrative. That's very, very interesting. No, Keandra, again, this isn't a narrative. This is the truth. The girl sitting to your right just showed you the statistics. Black women are the least preferred. A successful black man just told you straight up why he doesn't prefer you, and you still act confused. No, baby, you know why. But instead of doing the hard thing, which is admitting, okay, I'm falling short in these areas, I might need to tighten up, we get, oh, that's stupid, I ain't doing that, but then act surprised at why men do not want you. Unbelievable.
You know, I've heard the same thing from like, I have a cousin, younger cousin, and his whole thing is that he likes white women for the same reasons. And I'm just like, but why? Like, how is that changing anything? Like, why do you have this perception? And it's something that I don't understand. And him being so young, because I'm only 26, so him being like younger than 24 is just like, well, where'd you get this from?
Oh my, dude, listen, man. Listen, hold on a second. God, listen, I can't even, man. Let's look at this from a common sense perspective, which we know women cannot do, but we're going to give it a try anyway. Black women all over this country have heard black men say that one of the reasons a lot of black men prefer non-black women is because black women do not like to give head. but they're still acting like we're making this up. Like we just pulled this notion out of thin air when black men the world over are sharing the same experiences. You can't act like you don't know where this is coming from if millions of black men are telling the same story. OMG, where did this come from? It came from experience from millions of black men. This woman, this licensed marriage therapist, just sat there and said, your reasoning is stupid. I don't know where you're getting this from. Then the other woman right across from her says her cousin told her the same thing. But then they still want to ask, where are they getting this from? What? It's as though remaining willfully ignorant to this quote unquote stereotype, even though black men from sea to shining fucking sea co-sign on the same experiences, even though the show Insecure, which by the way is shot in LA, in season 2, episode 6, highlights the lack of desire for black men, for black women to go down on men. And let me go back down here. I want you guys to look at your screen. I'm going to read this to you that's on your screen. In the midst, it says, quote, in the midst of all her dating woes, Issa, Molly, Kelly, and Tiffany go to a sexplosion conference and end up discussing giving oral sex to their partner. Surprisingly, Tiffany is the only one who enjoys it, and the others, especially Issa, are not really here for it. It says surprisingly. Tiffany is the only one who enjoys it. So it's almost like they're admitting that, listen, girl, you should love going downtown, but only Tiffany is the one who enjoys it. But Issa and the others are not really here for it. That's listen, even, you know, it's funny what TV tries to do. TV tries to, I call this outlier TV. And what outlier TV tries to do is it tries to project the best possible traits on women. They make women strong and beautiful and attractive, and they problem solve and blah, 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 blah. Yet the show Insecure, even on a show where you could have just lied about the narrative and have all 4 women, yep, I love going downtown, women could point to that and say, see, we do like giving head. Even on a show where they could have just lied about the narrative, they could not help themselves. This show is scripted. You guys still bitch and moan about the stereotype that black men don't like to give oral sex. You have a clear opportunity to try to at least make up a false narrative on an HBO show. You still couldn't do that. I've said it dozens of times, guys, and I will say it again. Stereotypes exist for a reason. These women asking where the stereotype came from is as disingenuous as me asking, what did that security guard want to see my hotel room key for? We both know where it came from, but the difference is we both know where those stereotypes came from. The difference is that I acknowledge it. And on the other hand, I also acknowledge hard and fast truths about life, and these women simply do not. This is why I'm winning, and they ain't. In the end, guys, the disappointments that black women experience when dating, this is self-inflicted. Just like the disappointments that overweight women experience when dating, that's self-inflicted. Just like the disappointments that men who live with their mothers experience when dating, that is also self-inflicted. You and nobody else are responsible for your station in life. We preach that on every medium, in every way, about every situation. If your life is great, it's because you did great things. If your life is shitty, it's because you made bad decisions. Yes, there are things that happen outside of your control, but that doesn't take the responsibility off oneself to kick life's ass and become the best versions of themselves. But black women want to blame everything and everyone but themselves that they're at the bottom of the sexual totem pole. They blame television. They blame the media. They blame their mothers. They blame black men. They blame white men. They blame everyone and everything but themselves. And this is precisely why they continue to be the least preferred females on a romantic level. From one-night stands to marriages to and everything in between. Most men aren't checking for black women, and it's nobody's fault but their own. The sooner they can acknowledge that they have to raise their value rather than expecting men to lower their standards, the better off they'll be. But we all know that that's never going to happen in my lifetime. So I'm not holding my breath. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.